Hi, I'm Nisha DeGaring, host of Good Things Utah, and I've been a longtime supporter of Todd's Beliefcast. I hope you find inspiration in the courageous stories shared by the amazing people Todd features on his show. The guests serve as shoulders for us to stand on, allowing us to see a little further and cultivate belief in oneself. Remember, you have the dignity and power to change. I encourage you to keep striving and believing in yourself. Enjoy today's podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Todd Sylvester, your host of the Beliefcast. I know I always say this, but it's true. Thank you so much for tuning in and for supporting this. It means the world to me. We're ranked in the top 100 in mental health because of you. So thank you for tuning in and keep sharing, because it really does make a difference in people's lives. And it's because of these amazing people that I bring on who are vulnerable and share their life with us. And I am so grateful that I get to sit face to face most of the time with these people. But thank you guys. And I know you feel the same way, that these guests just kind of make us realize that people are astonishing. And I just am grateful that we're in this position. So today on the Beliefcast, I'm honored to welcome Katie Lowder. Katie, thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You betcha. Katie is a top 500 realtor in Utah, but more importantly, she is someone who leads with faith, heart, compassion, and a deep love for people. For nearly 20 years, she has helped families through some of the biggest transitions of their lives, reminding them that home is about far more than walls and a roof. It's about connection, peace, love, and belonging. She's a mom of 3. She's been through a lot in her life, and she's going to share some things around that today and inspire us and help us be better people, to be quite honest. This is going to be a beautiful conversation about service, resilience, family, purpose, and using our gifts to lift others. So, Katie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here, and I love what you do and providing this platform for others to share what we've been through. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you bet. I'm excited to sit here with you. And obviously, we get connection through my father. You guys are at the gym in the morning together, and he speaks the world of you. And so that's, my dad is a talker, as you well know. He talks to everyone in the gym. But yeah, he got us connected, so I'm grateful for that.
Me too. He's such a fun man. I love that he just lets you be genuine and who you are, and you feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
He just lets everyone be who they are, and you don't have any walls up around your dad. He's wonderful.
For sure. That's his gift, honestly. He's
really
always been like that way since I remember when I was a little kid. Everyone loves him.
Yep.
So
that's who he is.
Well, why don't we start off, for those who don't know you, give us a little background where you grew up and a little bit about your family.
Okay. So I was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay.
2 loving parents, 2 brothers, 2 sisters.
Okay.
And so there was 5 of us kids. My parents were very loving. I was very fortunate to have a really good family. My parents taught us hard work, to be loyal, to care for one another. My mom was a real estate agent for 30 years, and my dad was a chef. And so those happen to be 2 of the things that I love most, is what my parents gave to me and what they provided for us.
Cooking and selling homes.
It makes me so happy. Yes.
That's
what
awesome.
way to people's hearts is through homes and feeding them a good meal.
Wow. Well, you said you grew up with 2 loving parents. What were some of the lessons that they taught you that you as you look back now, that really stand out to you?
Being together. One of my favorite memories growing up is we always had dinner at the kitchen table together. I love that. I love that my parents made that so important to be in each other's lives. We all went to each other's games. We supported one another. Like, family was number one to my family. Of just supporting and being loyal and loving and caring for one another. And I will always hold those memories dear.
Yeah, there's something about family dinner, right? Or even a family breakfast. I remember growing up, we always had Sunday breakfast and with the whole family. And we had some of the funniest, sometimes weird conversations, right? But you felt connected when you did that.
Yes, right? We did. And we, so the kitchen table, I know that's kind of lame, but the kitchen table is probably the most important, prized piece of furniture that I have, is because we gather our loved ones around the kitchen table. So that's so important to me, to gather our family together. Yeah.
What were you like as a child? What were you involved with, and what did that look like?
Okay, so I loved sports. I was always an athlete. I played softball, was in dance, I was a hard worker. I started working at the age of 14. I graduated a little early at 17 and purchased my first home at 18. So
Really?
really
Dang.
hard worker. Yes.
Boy, I would say. So how did you pull that off? That's amazing.
Well, right out of high school, I worked 3 jobs and went to college
Jeez.
full time studying business. I
Wow.
was just a worker and I loved my home. I wasn't planning on moving, but my mom's a real estate agent, I told you, and she
Yeah.
taught me the importance of home ownership and starting early.
Wow.
And I went to the house and I loved it. And there was a big oak tree in the back. And I said, this is my house. I'll buy
Really?
it. So I carved my name in the tree. And I loved
No
that
way.
cute little 800 square foot house.
Dang, that's amazing. I I laugh because at 18, I don't think I had $10 to my name. I'm serious. For you to be in that position, obviously you had to be, like you said, you're a hard worker. Did you notice that even as a young kid, like when you were like in elementary, junior high, did you notice that you kind of had this work ethic and like to work hard, or?
My entire life, I've known that
Really?
I'm just a hard worker. When I put my mind to it, I'm going to do it the right way, and I'm going to do it full service. And I've always been that way. Like even in my yard, I loved my house so much. I could not afford very much as an 18-year-old homeowner. I would crawl around the fence with a pair of scissors and cut the grass with the
Are
scissors
you serious?
from going up the fence. So I take pride in home ownership and what I
Yeah.
do, and I just I've always worked hard. So
Yeah,
What about me?
and like, because if the yard looks good, the house looks good,
yes,
right? I'm the same way. I'm really, you know, those who know me, I love yard work. I love making my yard look really, really good. And there's something about it when it's done and you kind of look back on it. It's like this sense of fulfillment, and actually feels like therapy a little bit.
it is therapy. The yard work is therapy for me. I love. I know some people complain about mowing the lawn and being out there in the heat, but I love it. It's
Yeah.
therapeutic for me for sure.
Yeah. Well, before we get into, I mean, you know, you're a top 500 realtor again, and it's no surprise if you're a hard worker. You've done a lot of good things. You do this thing called the core training we're going to talk about, veterans success centers. You're on the board of Canyon School Districts, and you're involved in so many things, doing great things. We're going to talk about that, but you know, you've got a story. You've been through a lot in your life, and if you wouldn't mind sharing, just kind of like as you know got your first home, and as you started to you know eventually get married and things like that, will you talk about what you went through?
Sure. So I bought my first home at 18. I married young at the age of 20.
Yeah.
And then we decided to move to San Antonio, Texas to pursue a sales job. Each of us were the same profession.
Oh, okay.
Selling water treatment and purification. I was a door knocker. So I knocked on
Really?
people's doors, which is really tough. That is the hardest job on the planet, I think.
I
I'm
agree.
convinced.
If you can do that, you can do anything.
Anything.
Yep.
You just learn a lot. Having your
Man.
door slammed in your face every single day.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
in Texas, it was really hot and humid, and we didn't even have air conditioning in our car at the time, so it was
Wow.
it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
We had our daughter at about a year later. During 9/11, which was really hard, and sales during 9/11 went away. So
Yeah. Everything kind of shut down for a while.
it
Yeah.
was tough. And so we couldn't afford much. I remember I got one of those baby backpacks and had my newborn on my chest while I door knocked every day because we couldn't afford
Yeah.
childcare, and I didn't want to lose my
Yeah.
job. So I didn't take any time off after having
Wow.
both of my children. And so
That probably helped with sales, you know. If I opened the door and saw you with a baby, I'm like, okay, I'll buy whatever. What do you need?
whatever you need.
I'm in, right?
A few people have said that to me. Was that a sales tactic?
Yeah.
But really, it was survival. It
Yeah.
was survival at the time.
Yeah.
And I learned so much about work ethic, and I'll do what I need to do to take care of my family and help them.
I mean, this might sound like a weird question, but obviously you're very confident to be able to knock on doors. You've got your baby on your chest. You're surviving. Like you said, we've got to make this happen because we got to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all have doubts and we all struggle with that. Were you struggling with like, man, can I even do this? Did you have those kind of thoughts?
Actually, no, I did not have those thoughts. I had the thought of I need to provide for my family and I
Wow.
won't fail.
Dang.
So those
Jeez,
were,
who are you?
well,
That's
thank
amazing.
you. Thank you. That was more of that's
Yeah.
always been my motive or my drive is
Yeah.
to provide for my family, make sure that
Yeah.
we're going to be okay.
Wow.
We did that for years and for 6 years. And then finally in, let's see, it was 2005, we decided to move here. We were kind of having struggles with the company. They were wanting to expand and grow. And so
Yeah.
we moved here. And then that's when I got into real estate. I
Okay.
wanted to sell something more meaningful.
Yeah.
Water treatment's great, but I thought
Yeah.
home ownership, I went back to the days of where I was trimming the yard with my scissors and how much I loved that little house.
Yeah.
And went back to those days and thought, this is a better fit for me of helping people with the biggest investment of their lives where they raise their families. So it was just more meaningful for me. So that's what I went into real estate.
Wow, that's cool. And I know you look at more of just a roof over their head. It's like a place of connection, like you talked about the dinner table, and you know, you gotta have a home in order to have the dinner table for the family to kind of come together. And I think that's probably why you are successful in the sense, one, you're a hard worker, but two, you see it as this a beautiful thing for the family, you know, kind of versus just a home, right?
100%. I think it's one of the most important jobs in the world, really. I
Yeah.
mean, this is where everyone goes back to home, right?
Right.
They raise their families there. They have all the best memories there. We learn from our parents there. It really is the best job for me to be able to help provide this for families.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
yeah.
So now you got, you're doing real estate, you've moved here, you know, you've got, at this point, is it a couple kids at this point?
So we
Or
have
just-
two kids,
Okay.
and so I'm still working real estate. My number one job was to be a mom, and then I sold real estate more on the side. I mean, I was
Yeah.
full time, but not. My main focus was on the family.
Yeah.
And then we had our last child, and then fast forward to 2022, my husband lost his job. And so he was trying to figure out more of what he wants to do with his life. And then I had to be the number one breadwinner of the family, and I had to step up that game.
Yeah.
So that was really eye-opening to me. I
Sure.
wasn't doing the best that I could be doing. I was helping families. I just felt at the time that I wasn't being the best version of myself that I could be. I was a good mom. I was a good agent, but I wasn't great. I was just kind of waking up every day doing my thing.
Yeah.
So when I was forced to become the breadwinner, I thought I need to be better. I looked at everything. I wasn't in the community as much as I would have liked to be. I was overweight at the time. I actually, when he lost his job, I looked on the scale and I weighed 245 pounds.
Really?
I was very heavy.
Yeah. I can't even picture that because you're nowhere near that and you look great. Yeah. Wow.
Yep. That was a big eye-opening. I heard someone say one time, successful people are fit. And I just became the main breadwinner of the family. I needed to become fit. I needed to
Yeah.
lose the weight.
Yeah.
And so I determined that year I was going to grow my business. I was going to lose weight. I was going to be in the community more. I was going to be a better mom, better neighbor. I coined the year be better. I wrote it on everything, be better.
Really?
And so that was my turning point of who I wanted to be and to provide the highest level for my family.
So is it fair to say, looking back on that now, as hard as that was to all of a sudden become the breadwinner and trying to figure that out, it actually was a good thing because it caused you to dig a little deeper than you normally would have?
It was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Wow.
I was not living my potential of
Yeah.
who I can be. I wasn't being the best mom. I wasn't intentional about anything. I guess
Yeah.
that's the best way to
Yeah.
describe it. I was
Yeah.
not being intentional with my life and where it should be.
Wow. Okay, so moving along, I know you've been through a lot of hard things, so I know, let's get into some of the more difficult things you started to face.
Okay, so at the end of 2022, that year that I lost all the weight, in November, my husband was arrested, charged, and eventually convicted of domestic violence. And that year, I had been going so strong on everything I needed to do for my family. And when that happened, everything came crashing down.
Yeah.
It was almost like a bucket of water was thrown in my face to give me the realization of the last 25 years of marriage, of the way I've been living. I did not see my marriage as a domestic violence marriage. That might
Right.
sound so strange, but
Yeah.
I didn't see all the abuses that we had been given as abuse. It was almost like an incident, something that happened, not
Right.
as categorized as I lived in a violent marriage or my life was,
Right.
in this state of domestic violence all the time.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it that way.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I work with a lot of female clients who have been through something similar, and a lot of times they say the same thing, where they looked at it that, oh, it was just something that happened. We talk about it, we move on, and we continue with our lives. But they didn't realize the pattern had been going on for so long that, man, I'm actually in this abusive relationship.
It was really difficult it was almost like a flood of memories. When that happened, a flood of memories of every violent incident came into my mind of what we had gone through over 25 years
Yeah.
of the abuses, mainly emotional, physical in there too. But I had forgotten a lot that had happened. It's almost
Yeah.
like they were just incidences in your life that you forget about, you move on.
Yeah.
So that really came to the forefront. And then the kids and I had big conversations if we had to decide what we were going to do.
Yeah.
It was my son that called the police that particular day after an incident where my husband was going after him. And then
Yeah.
I stepped in and he came after me.
Okay.
And so it was my brave son that put a stop to it. And he was 17 at the time, I think, 17. So
Tough
very
thing
brave.
for a 17-year-old have to be faced with.
I commend him because I don't know that I would have ever called. He saved our lives.
Wow. And when was this? How long ago was this?
So this was in 2022.
Okay.
And then we decided this was going to be the final chapter that my husband was finally going to be forced to get help. We still loved him.
Sure.
A lot of people,
Yeah.
I think when you think of domestic violence, you think of these movies where they're mean all the time, or
Yeah.
the abuser is just an awful person all the time. And
Right.
that's really not the case.
Exactly.
It is incidences. It's there was still a lot of love and good in him. He
Yeah.
just didn't know how to control himself.
Yeah.
And so we decided that we are going to help him through counseling and love him anyway. Unfortunately, things got worse. During that year and a half, my husband did not realize what he had done. It was almost like we were pushing him to what he would do instead of taking ownership. He never did take
No
ownership.
accountability. Yeah.
None. And so that was really hard on my kids. That was hard on me. We tried to help him the best we could, but it just kept getting worse.
Yeah.
So in 2024, we stayed a year and a half afterward,
Okay.
just believing that he would get the help
Yeah.
he
He'd
needed.
do the work and do what he needed to. Yeah.
Yep. So in 2024, I went, ironically, I went on a listing appointment in our neighborhood that we had currently lived in.
Yeah.
And I walked in the house and the lady looked at me and said, "You're the angel that's supposed to buy my house." Shocking. And I thought, first I thought she's the best salesperson I've ever come across.
Yeah. How do you say no to that, right?
Yes. Like, what is she trying to sell me here?
Yeah, right. Woo.
So I kind of laughed and she said, "No, I'm not very spiritual, but I know that you're supposed to buy my house." So, and I had been wanting to leave, and it was really shocking. And I started the wheels turning and thought, maybe this is my out. This is how I'm going to get out of my situation.
Yeah.
So we worked at the numbers. She gave me a really good deal because she just wanted to travel with her son. So she was an angel to me.
Yeah.
An angel. And I got pre-qualified, but I could only qualify within $100 because I was on my first mortgage.
Yeah.
So it was so tight. And my loan officer said, you cannot spend any money whatsoever. Don't spend any money. If you're going to qualify for this house, don't spend any money. You have 35 days to not spend anything.
You're like, okay, wow.
So it was very hard.
That would be hard.
It was extremely difficult. I did not want to tell my husband yet that I was leaving. So that's what made it difficult.
sure.
Is I was kind of planning my escape, if you will.
Yeah.
It was an escape.
Yeah.
So I couldn't go back, though. The abuse started getting so strong.
Wow.
I could not go back. Once I knew I had a place to go, I could not go back. So I had a duffel bag with me. My kids had been staying at their older sister's house or at friends' houses.
Yeah.
And I would go to the gym every day, work out, go to work, and then sleep in my car at night. I could not go back to the abuse any longer.
You slept in your car. Wow.
For a month.
Now, we talked about if you can knock on doors, you can do anything. You know, I have clients that I deal with, high-risk clients. You know, they've blown up their lives with addiction, and they've been in and out of prison. And many, if not all of them, had this stint where they lived in their car. And they sit here and think they can't do this. And I go, dude, you lived in your car. You can do anything. So looking at you like, wow.
It is true. And I think about that
right?
was just less than 2 years ago. That was June 2 years ago.
Way.
And it wasn't it wasn't really too bad. I have a nice gym. We go to the gym and it's really nice. So I would shower at the gym, thankfully.
Yeah.
And I'd go to work and then I would
goodness.
go and sleep in my car at night, and my kids were safe and they were at friends. I remember my daughter's birthday is on 7/11/11 is her birthday. And all I could afford I couldn't even afford it as a free Slurpee at 7-Eleven. That's what she got on her birthday because that's all I had to give.
Really?
I could not afford anything, so it was just really difficult. But I was willing to sacrifice that month so that way we could escape.
To escape. And so obviously there was something definitely motivating you because of the situation you found yourself in.
Yes.
So then you make it through that, obviously, and then you made the escape. How did that go, and how did he handle that?
It was very rough. I actually caught him breaking into the new house. Very rough. The hardest part for me was seeing him in pain, that I just blew up the family, essentially. Like, I took the kids and we left, and that was hard on him.
Yeah.
And my heart kept sobbing for him. I was so concerned with what that was doing to him because I looked at him as being sick. He was not evil. He was not a bad man. He was sick.
Sure.
And now I left.
Yeah.
And I wanted to help him, but I knew I could not go back. He would not get the help he needed.
But at the same time, really hard to see him suffering, even though it was the best thing for you and the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had to keep remembering all the bad that he had done. Everyone says, forget about the bad things. Remember the good. For us, it was what we needed to remind ourselves why we had to leave.
Yeah.
I had to remember the bad things, or I would have gone back because I cared for him so much that I wanted him to do well and get better, but I could not go back. And I hated seeing him suffer. That was so difficult.
Yeah.
I'm an empath, and I don't like to see anyone in pain, and it was heartbreaking. For
sure. You know, in unhealthy relationships, there's a famous saying where, I don't know if it's famous, that's probably the wrong word, common saying, believe the red flags, not the apologies.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And you think about it, there's a red flag there for a reason. It's a warning. It's a wake-up call. It's and again, it's hard when your heart's into a relationship, like, again, you're a very caring person, and it's hard to do something hard knowing it's going to hurt the other person, right?
That was the biggest struggle of my life, is leaving and not going back. And then I eventually filed for divorce because it wasn't going. We tried marriage counseling and it wasn't working. He was not understanding what he was not healing in any way, shape, or form. So I did file for divorce, and that was very difficult as well. I never pictured my life going into divorce. I wanted a 50th wedding anniversary. I wanted, all those things. So it was very hard. And then what was really difficult is he hated me, and knowing that he hated me, and I still had all this love for him. and him not seeing that was hurtful, and putting us through the things he did even after I left, of not letting me go. I almost felt like an anchor was pulling me underwater.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. Just not letting me go and just making everything so difficult. I had tried to set up appointments not appointments, but visitation for the kids. I wanted them to go see their dad.
Sure.
And he canceled every single one. He was purposely trying to cause pain to us, which was really difficult.
Yeah.
And so I've never fasted or prayed for anyone more in my life than to pray for him.
Wow.
I just needed him to heal. I wanted to see him in a good place. So I fasted and prayed from the time I left up until now. I've fasted and prayed, and I just needed him to let me go, and he just would not let me go.
Yeah. Jeez, that's heavy stuff. And thanks for sharing that. I really do appreciate that. I know it's not an easy thing to talk about. Obviously, something happened back in November. Would you mind sharing that?
Yeah, so a little bit before that, in September, I did this big fast, a 40-day fast, and it was fruits and vegetables and nuts only for 40 days. It was the most difficult thing I've ever done.
I bet.
But the purpose of the fast was for him to heal, for him to get better. Obviously, I had my kids in that fast. I had a lot of friends in that fast.
Sure.
And it's just, you pray every single day. You're fasting for what you need to be moved in life. So we had a big custody agreement coming up in the court system. Yeah. And I needed God's help. I needed him to help me with my 14-year-old and just let everything go. Yeah. And so I finished the fast. The next day was our court date. And he did not show up. And so I was granted full custody of our daughter, which was such a blessing.
Did you look at that as an answer?
An answer to the prayer.
Because there wasn't a big battle and a fight, because that's what it probably would have been.
Right. And I wanted him to have visitation, but my daughter was scared with his domestic violence past, obviously. Yeah. I mean, he was charged with domestic violence, so it was there. Yeah. And I just wanted full custody, but I wanted him to heal and be a part of her life as well.
Sure, yeah.
So after that fast and after I won custody in November, I was on an appointment showing houses, and I get a text from my neighbor that said, "Katie, there's police at your door. Are you okay? Is everything okay?" Immediately I called my 20-year-old son and said, "What's going on? Yeah. Are you okay?"
That's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. And he said, "No, Dad took his life." And I immediately sank and said, "What's going on? What happened?" And I hear the police officer in the background said, "No, we actually don't think that he took his life, but he is deceased." And just shock. It felt like 10 hours before I could drive from Harriman to my house in Draper. Yeah. I just wanted to be with my kids.
Yeah.
I just couldn't
bet.
believe it.
I can't even imagine.
So they were sobbing. They were in shock. We couldn't believe, after all we had gone through, everything, like what happened, what was going on, that he passed. If it wasn't self-inflicted, what was it? Yeah. So we go home, we talk with the police. There was a lot of prescription drugs on the scene, but nothing that looked out of the ordinary. Right. So we don't think it was intentional, but he had been addicted to Adderall and to oxycodone. Okay. Yeah. We found a bunch of liquor at the house, so we think it was a combination of that at the time. Yeah. That he was just self-medicating, just living this lifestyle that he shouldn't have been. And I go back to the fast because the timing of that fast, and I wanted the ultimate healing for him, not the way that I ever imagined it, but now I know that he is fully healed.
He's not suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about, it's granted, we don't want anyone to ever pass away, especially in that way, but we also don't want someone, because like you said, you could tell he's not going down the road of healing. This is what his struggle is, and it's not getting better.
And it almost feels like Heavenly Father was like, you're not doing the things I've asked you to do. You're not healing. You're not getting any better. come home. I'll take care of you at home.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I felt that sense. I felt that,
Yeah.
after he passed.
So you're obviously a woman of faith, and that means a lot to you,
It does.
just by what you're even saying here. And I appreciate you being vulnerable with that as well. How has that helped you through this? And, because it wasn't too long ago. November was just a few months ago. So and here we are talking. How has that helped you through this?
I don't think I would be where I am today without that. I have a full understanding of our purpose here in life and what we're supposed to be doing and where we're going. Steve's life was not in vain. He was a really good man and really good at a lot of things.
I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the incredible sponsors of the Beliefcast podcast. First, Craig from Craig Swap and Associates. If you need an attorney, he's your guy. Trustworthy, compassionate, always there when you need him most. Next, Wasatch Recovery, the greatest university on the planet, transforming lives one day at a time. Sandy from Minky Couture, the creative genius behind the most comfortable blanket you'll ever wrap yourself in. Comfort like no other. Special thanks to the award-winning pianist Paul Cardall for his beautiful music that brings inspiration to every episode.
But he did not heal. He did not get better. As I can name all the times that God put before him to give him trials to get better.
Yeah.
And he never got better. Through his life, I can see that through my whole 25 years of marriage.
Yeah, right.
Of him being directed and not taking that direction the way he should.
Yeah.
And after his passing, we felt so much guilt. Why did we leave? If we didn't leave, we could have helped him. We could have saved him. And it took about a couple months, 2 to 3 months before we realized there was nothing that we could do.
Yeah.
There is nothing that was in us that could help him. We gave everything. So after that guilt goes away, then you feel relief.
Yeah.
We were really scared of him. He had some mental illness that we were hiding in our homes.
Yeah.
We would have conversations at night. Do we shut our blinds so he can't see in, or do we leave them open so if the neighbors can see us if he's attacking us?
Wow.
So to have those conversations and have that sense of relief afterward,
Sure.
then you feel guilt for having the relief.
For having the relief. Like, should I feel relieved right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's so many emotions that go along with everything, and taking care of my kids and making sure that they're okay, and they miss their dad. We miss all the good things about him.
Sure.
But we don't miss the abuse that we suffered for so long.
Yeah.
And so with the faith question and how does my faith help, I know that I wouldn't have been put through the things that I've gone through without a purpose.
Yeah.
One of my favorite sayings and ideas is, it's not the most beautiful people with the bright eyes and the big smiles that change the world, and those are not the most beautiful people, but it's the people that have gone through fire and come back with water for those that are still burning.
Yeah.
I totally butchered that, but you know the message.
Yeah. Hey, I know exactly. Yeah. It's a great message. Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So I just think that we're supposed to be here to help others. I think our hurt is someone else's healing, and our trials are meant to help others through their pain and their suffering.
Yeah.
I fully believe that and know that that's what our purpose is.
Yeah.
I think when we can be a light to others, I think about all those dark days where I lived and prayed for someone to come save me.
Yeah.
Someone, please come save me.
Yeah.
And I remember praying that all the time. And now I know that I'm supposed to go be that light for someone else.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to take what I've learned and what I've experienced to go help others.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, this is your first podcast.
It is.
And hopefully this is the springboard. We talked about this to obviously open up a lot more doors for you and a lot more opportunities for you to be that light and to be carrying those buckets of water for those that are still stuck in the fire, right?
Yes, exactly.
There's a quote by this Hindu monk that goes like this, your trials didn't come to punish you, but to awaken you.
Oh, I love that. That's
and,
great.
and again, those were some really difficult trials you went through, and you wouldn't wish those on anyone, right? But yet, going as we go back in your story, even back to when you were that kid who learned to work hard work hard to get what you want. It's almost like there's a statement that the Other Side Academy uses. It says, you alone can do it, but you can't do it alone.
Oh, that's true. That's
right?
Wonderful. Yes.
And here you are doing it on your own, finding a house, doing it, having to move, having your escape, all these things, but yet at the same time, you really weren't doing it alone. That person, hey, you're the angel that's supposed to buy my house.
Yes.
And you're like, excuse me?
I had a lot of those people along the way. I had friends reaching out, and I did not, through the divorce and through leaving, I did not share a lot of the pain that we had gone through. I did not want Steve's name to be hurt. I didn't want that. And then I started to realize that our pain is supposed to help others. So be open. It's okay to share your story. Because you don't know who you're going to help. You don't know what light you're going to bring to others in their darkest moments. Wow. I will gladly loan my faith to others by telling my story. Because I think that's how we give someone else the courage and the faith to get through their trials and their needs.
Absolutely. So as you're going through all of this, you're still working as a realtor. You like you said, you had realized, a few years back that you needed to be better, get yourself in better shape, and then also maybe better shape mentally, spiritually, and emotionally as well.
Yes.
How did you navigate that going, man, I'm dealing with this family thing, but yet I still got to be the breadwinner. I still want to do good at my job. I want to show up for people. How did you do that?
Honestly, I don't know, other than faith. But that's a really tough question because I don't know. I have a lot of people that say, how do you do everything that you do? I really had to focus every single day on being positive. Are you familiar with Louise Hayes? I'm sure a lot of people are. Louise Hayes, the ultimate affirmations lady.
For sure, yep.
I really did tell myself every single day. I had to get myself in the right frame of mind to focus on who you are, who you're supposed to be. Before my feet hit the ground every morning, I pray, and I pray who I can help that day. One of my favorite sayings is, lose your life and you will find it. And so really I focused on everyone else but my own problems. I think that got me through the last 2 years. Every time that I was hurting and suffering and in pain and wanted to just lay in bed all day, I thought about who I can help. It's really funny. I make a lot of bread, and I would have brought you some today, but my kitchen is under construction. But I make a lot of bread, and every day I think about who this might bring light to, who I can help each and every single day. How can I be a light to someone else? And I truly live that every single day of how I can help others through their struggles or through their trials.
That's beautiful. Words have power, right? I think a lot of people sometimes, and I see it with my client, I'm a huge affirmations guy. And I do believe it is the single greatest way to reshape our self-image on a subconscious level. And I do believe when we speak it, we create it. And not only do we need to speak it, we got to have proof and evidence of what we're saying, right?
Yes.
And so what are your thoughts on that? Obviously you believe in that, and you would believe that words have power.
Yes. So during my marriage, when we were struggling, my husband would tell me, you cannot lose the weight. I hate you. I hate who you are. I hate everything about you. Was really negative. Every single day that he would leave for work, I would turn on something positive because I had to reframe my brain. I had to think about the positive that's in me, what my purpose is. I had to retrain myself. It was difficult. It was a full-out battle. I say that I've been battling. I battled for 2 years through my weight loss, through all of this, through escaping, through affirmations, through mindset. I couldn't have done it without positive books, self-affirmations, just getting in the right frame of mind, because you have to, or else you're going to believe the negative things that you're told all the time. The negative in society. I turned off all news. I had to turn that off. my kids laugh at me because every time they would watch a scary movie or anything negative, they say, turn on Care Bears for Mom, because she has to listen to something positive now.
That's funny.
So that is the joke, that if we watch something negative, we have to turn on Care Bears where it's happy.
Yeah, I love that.
Because it's true. You become what you think, and
For sure.
and what you're absorbing every single day. So be positive. Surround yourself in positivity.
Yeah. And you've kind of done that in the sense of you're really involved in your community. That's a big thing for you as well. I think you've volunteered at the Ronald McDonald's House. You're on the board at Canyon School District, correct?
The education foundation portion of it.
Oh, the education
So
part.
that
Gotcha.
is the side that helps with homeless teenagers through the teachers.
Wow.
So that's
Makes
more
sense.
of the foundation side where we
Okay.
help the community.
That's awesome.
So I'm a part of that board, and it's really great. We help all the teachers that are in need. We help the kids that are homeless. We have a lot of homeless students
Yeah.
in Canyons, and you wouldn't
think that, right?
No, you wouldn't think that. I think the last number I heard was 2,500, if that's accurate.
Yeah, jeez.
So there's a lot of kids
That's
out there that need help.
That's way too many. One's too many, let alone that many, right?
Yes, and I go back to sleeping in my car, and think of these kids and most of them bounce between friends' homes, through families' homes. They're considered homeless because they don't have a permanent address. So I think of those kids that are in need. I think of our military families that struggle financially.
Yeah.
So I'm involved in those groups
Is that
as well.
Is that the Veteran Success Centers that you're involved with?
At Utah University.
At the Utah, yeah.
And
love that.
and UVU, they both have family
Okay.
success centers. Through our veterans, they're mainly veterans that are getting out of the military, that are finishing up their schooling, but they need help too.
Sure.
So there's just a lot of ways you can help in the community and be a light out there to others that need it. You just don't know until you start digging. It was funny because people ask me, how did I get involved in this or all the different organizations? You just have to look.
You have to look.
Like, really, it's out there in all avenues that you're passionate about.
Well, you had the desire. There was a big part of you going, I need, like you even said, you told yourself, be better. You wrote notes, be better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was your way to be more involved in the community. And there you are, taking buckets of water to those in the fire. That's so cool.
Thank you. That's
really
my
is.
purpose. That is my purpose.
You should
here.
write a book. Have you ever thought of that?
I actually am writing a book.
Are you really?
I am writing
No
a book.
way.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
It's
I
a
love
book
it.
about about self-motivating and getting through our struggles and really finding your purpose of your life and what we're supposed to be doing here.
A good title might be Living in My Car Taught Me I Can Do Anything.
I love it. That might be, how do you shorten that just a
I
little
don't know.
bit?
I know it's a little long, but yeah, I love that because, I've written a book on my story, and what I found it wasn't like this big money maker thing. It's more of like this big brochure of my life. And then what that book did for me is open up all these opportunities to speak and to coach and to do all these other things and even do this podcast. And so I love that you're doing that. I think that's fantastic. And it's another way for you to kind of get that bucket of water out there.
Yes, and I think I want to do a workbook, accompanied workbook with it.
Yeah.
Because I think when we self-analyze our lives, where we are in our lives, and where we're going, you kind of need a map, right? We need kind of a plan. We do have to have a plan of what we want for our lives and what it should look like. And I really try to align it with my purpose and with God. I want to go home one day and God say, good job. You've done everything that I've asked you to do, and you've helped others improve their lives. And I think that's all our purpose. I always say we're here to walk each other home.
Wow.
That is what we're here for. We're here to walk each other home. So let's do this together.
Like just sitting here listening to your words, you're helping me walk a little further with your words. I really mean that. Like, that's so cool. I, again, love that you're doing that. I love that you have this big desire to make a difference. And obviously, from what I hear, I know a lot about your background and stuff, but everyone seems to love you. You have a kind heart. I can tell just by talking to you as well. And, you never would have known that you've gone through this. And I do know there's so many women in the exact scenario that they don't know what to do. So that's why your story is needed right now.
Thank you. And I do want to be there for women. Like I've done a few women in business conferences and women's groups that I'm I'm actively trying to help other women that may not know how to get out or may not identify the abuse that they go through.
Right.
And just realize that you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a nasty thing.
Right.
Like, you can still have love. The amount of love that I have for my husband still will always be there, and I'm so grateful for that. I could have chose to have hate in my heart, to really hate him for what he put us through, and luckily I don't have an ounce of that.
Well, plus if you did, you'd still be stuck.
Exactly.
You wouldn't be doing this. You would be stuck in that hatred, and it would stop your progression. It just would. And I know you know that, but I see it all the time, unfortunately. So I think, again, why your story is so needed, so people can go, man, if she can get to this place and still love the good things that, that he brought to the relationship, and to be doing these good things, man, it gives me hope that I could do the same.
If you think that forgiveness, I mean, I'm not perfect. There's things that I want people to forgive me for.
Yeah.
So if I can offer that loving, kind, passionate heart to others, I mean, I would want that back for me. So
Absolutely.
We have to live our lives that way. We have to be loving and tender and kind. And I think when we are living with a genuine heart and love for people, we're living our true purpose. And that's what we're here for.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's a good segue to my final question. If someone's tuned into this episode, listening to your voice right now, they're stuck in this relationship, or they're just in a dark place, they're not sure what to do, what would you tell that one person right now listening?
My biggest mistake is that I did not share my story with others that could have helped me. I think about sleeping in my car and think about, I should have told someone that I trusted or cared for. No one knew. My mom didn't. And I'm close to my parents.
Yeah.
I was close to my dad before he passed. I was close to my sisters. No one had a clue. Wow. And like I said, I didn't realize the abuses that I had gone through. But I would say, really analyze, if you've struggled through any of this, reach out to someone that you trust and tell them exactly what you've gone through, and let them help you analyze that. And figure out a way to help your family, to help yourself. You really have to love and care for yourself. The year of being better, that was really the year of Katie. Like, I think about that and think I really had to help myself before I could help my kids and help my family.
Yeah.
I had to take care of myself first.
Right.
So reach out to someone that you can trust, or reach out to me. Like, I would love to help anyone that needs help.
Yeah.
My heart, I'll give you my faith. I'll give you everything I have to help you.
Yeah.
I'm a connector. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a dietitian. If you need help with the weight loss part, I'm not any of those things, but I will find a resource to help you.
Yeah.
I love to connect and help people. So
when you said you had to take care of yourself, and that really allows you to now be in a position to help others, it reminds me of a quote by Rumi, the 13th century Persian poet. It goes like this: "Yesterday I was clever and I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise and I'm going to change myself."
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And your words are beautiful, and that message to those struggling, and I guarantee there's people listening right now that are in that dark spot. So thank you for your words. Thank you for being here. If someone wants to reach out to you, learn more about your story, or even learn more about they want to use you as their realtor or whatever, what's the best way for someone to reach out to you?
My website is Katie Lowder at KatieLowder.com.
KatieLowder.com. Okay.
And my email is KatieLowder@gmail.com. So reach out to me anytime. Okay. I mean, I really do love to help people. So there's no question or phone call that I would not take. Yeah. Because I really do want to help people. I know that's my purpose here on this earth.
Love it. So. Well, we'll put those links in the show notes, then go right to it. So make it nice and easy for them and convenient. But thank you. Thank you for your bravery today, your vulnerability. I love that you're here, and I love that you have made it through this difficult thing, and you're now in a position to give back. And I'm excited for when your book is ready to go. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. It's been a beautiful conversation, and thank you for all you do. I think you're the one that brings water to those still burning all the time by helping others share their story. So thank you for being a pillar of light in our community. I appreciate you.
You bet. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, thanks for tuning in, folks. Katie Lowder, guys. Amazing, correct? People are astonishing. Please share this with your loved ones. If you have a friend that's in a similar situation as Katie, send them a link to this episode. It will help inspire them to reach out and get some help and to know that they can get through it. I love you guys so much. Thanks to my sponsors. Without you, I would not be able to do this. So thank you for supporting this cause. And I love all of you. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.